So let me get your take while I have you, Cary. You know, we talked a lot about AEW, but man, WWE's model is changing so quickly right now. Like their entire developmental program.
What are they doing? I mean, what are they thinking?
That's what I was going to ask you, Cary. I don't know how closely you've been kind of watching the machinations over the past.
Close enough.
Yeah. What do you think What do you think is going on right now? What's your take on this?
To quote the great W.C. Fields, it baffles science. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, when the whole thing went down with Triple H, and they basically, you know, and I don't know how his health is. I'm close with Brian Kendricks, and he was just like, you know, yeah, he had a heart procedure, but that was months ago. You know, and WWE, at least what I saw, they dismantled, correct me if I'm wrong, but they basically dismantled NXT to what we knew.
Yeah, the style of which we've become accustomed, the vision of Triple H has been scrapped for parts, yes.
So, and then with yesterday, with Regal, I mean, that's, and Road Dogg, and speaking to this guy or that guy, and I don't speak to many, it was brought to my knowledge that Road Dogg and Triple H were like, you know, but really close, really close.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Vince McMahon is just going crazy, completely crazy. I don't know. What do you think?
I think if I'm giving my pundit answer here, I think that what Vince McMahon is trying to do is level 3 version of legitimizing professional wrestling yet again. And I think that rather than looking to, you know, people that are passionate and working out of their warehouses and backyards and warehouses to become professional wrestlers, to legitimize this further, replace all of these people that are non-athletes trying to become pro wrestlers, find nothing but pure blue chip athletes and flush your roster out with that so that you can, you know, set a real difference between yourself and your competition.
How many of that style blue chip athletes have we seen become successful over the last 20 years?
Well, I think that he's going to say I would wager to say Nick Khan and Vince McMahon would say there haven't been enough to pick from. You expand that pool exponentially, you're going to see more successful talent, you know, fall through the cracks, so to speak.
Yeah, the couple of people that I do speak to, I'll leave their names out of it, that have been there or were there, have just said, like, just like we're scratching our heads, and they don't know what's going on either. They don't understand it. I mean, look what happened to Allison Danger, Carino's sister.
Yeah.
She just moved there. It sucks.
I know.
It's a shame. But they do what they do.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Cary? What does the future look like for you? You got anything on the horizon? Anything that you're working on right now? Anything you want to let people know about?
Yes. And probably last time we spoke, I said the same thing, but there needs to be one final edit of the Last Stop Penn Station book.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of your followers and listeners who don't know what I'm talking about, Last Stop Penn Station is the title of the podcast that I do with Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah.
And not only does it cover my time in pro wrestling, but we talk about my other life and hustle in the streets of New York City, scalping tickets, hooking up with cocaine deals with John Belushi, just by happenstance. People from Rush, people from Bob Seger, people from Jethro Tull, not necessarily the bands, but, you know, it's like, hey, we all want to hang out with our favorite rock stars, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think we have the right plumbing. So Right?
I mean, you got to be made of certain stuff if you want to hang with a crowd like
Yeah.
that. Is what you're saying.
I realized that was an in, and it worked. So all these crazy stories about that period of my life, and there's a ton of wrestling mixed in this period of, Nick, I'm 65. I should have been dead 40, whatever. You get the picture. I said to Matt Hardy, and he said, I feel you. I said, there's a mountain missing in Peru that went up my nose, but I cleaned up my act and thus became ROH, right?
Sure.
Wouldn't have happened if I didn't clean up my act.
Good.
And all those stories, me going to WrestleMania for the first time, WrestleMania 1 with $20 with my friend Harry, that matinee show. We knew how to hustle, and we got in the Garden. The aforementioned stories with these rock stars, and some stuff that's really personal, and it wasn't easy to talk about. Just some rough times in my life, and then the involvement in wrestling behind the scenes with ROH, eventually becoming the sole owner, and that whole ride. So there's a lot of good there's a lot of good content on Last Stop Penn Station podcast, which hopefully this year will come to surface as a book.